In today's video, I'm going to show you how to copy a SharePoint list essentially. So these are the different columns that we're going to do as part of this. So all these different column types are going to be transferred over to a new SharePoint list to include the attachments that are here. I'm also going to talk about what columns aren't transferable through Power Automate. There are other tools out there that have been designed for transferring other types of columns that Power Automate isn't supporting. But for Power Automate, I'm going to show you how to use that to transfer this into a new SharePoint list. And in this case, this is that backup list where we transferred everything to, and we can see that it is a mirror image of the previous list. All items have been transferred over here, just as we expected to have happen. Now, if you like this kind of content, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. It really does help the channel grow. All right, let's go ahead and jump right in. So the first thing that we need is a SharePoint list that we need to duplicate. In this case, this is the SharePoint list that we're going to duplicate in here. And we've got our two items that have been added in here. Now, I've added pretty much every column that you can duplicate as part of this. So we have our title column that's automatically part of the SharePoint list. We've got our choice column, and then we've got our different choices that are just kind of pre-built in there. And then we've got our date and time column here. And then we've got multiple lines of text. Now there are other columns, but those don't work with Power Automate. And if we take a look at this, the ones that don't work are your location field. Now sometimes you can get this to work depending on how you set it up. Your image field, sometimes you can get manage metadata to work also, and then your lookups. These are the fields that typically you can't use Power Automate to duplicate as part of a SharePoint list. And then also average rating. So essentially most of the bottom of this list are the ones you're going to have problems with duplications. But the majority of SharePoint lists, as far as a data structure, use these column types. So this video is really going to be geared towards any SharePoint list that has all of these different columns as part of its structure. If you do have those other columns, it's going to be a challenge. You can get most of the data, but you're not going to be able to necessarily get all of it moved over to a new SharePoint list. Now, the next step we need to do is we need to create our destination list. Now in this case, we're going to put it inside of this same SharePoint site. It could be a different SharePoint site. This process will work the exact same if you're putting it into another SharePoint portal or into the same SharePoint portal. The process and the execution is exactly the same. Now in our site contents, all we're going to do is hit the new button here, and we're going to say a list. Now we're going to use an existing list, and we're going to look for our primary list right here and hit next. Now we'll say this is the backup. I always uncheck this and then hit create. Now what this is going to do is keep all of the column structure that we created in the other list and move it over here. So we don't have to create any of the columns. All of that will be moved over with this. So it's a very quick and easy way to make sure that you get every column created the exact way that you need it for running the Power Automate. So as we can see here, we have everything that we need. All of the required columns are here already for us. Now the next step is Power Automate. So in Power Automate, we're going to do an instant cloud flow. Now you could also do a flow where you select the items that you want to move over, or you could on creation. So when somebody creates an item, it automatically creates a backup. All of those things are also possible. For this particular example, we're just going to assume that you have a SharePoint list. Maybe it's got too many items in it. Maybe you're moving it to a different portal and you're going to get rid of the existing portal. Whatever the reason is, this one we're just going to use a manual trigger. Now let's go ahead and just skip this. Now we're going to add our trigger. And again, we're going to do a manually trigger a flow. So we'll select that as our option here. And then let's go ahead and add an item. Now we're doing everything pretty much in SharePoint. So we'll just go to our SharePoint option here. And what we're going to do is get items. And then we're going to find our portal. Then we're going to find our list that has everything. So in this case, our primary list. And that's all we really need to do here. Now, something you might want to consider is if you've got a massive SharePoint list of tens of thousands of records, you might want to take a look at setting this up in a different way, just because that number of records, you might hit a threshold or a limit for the connector. You can turn on pagination and set that to say 5,000 and eliminate a lot of those issues if it's not a ton of data in the SharePoint list. but you might run into certain issues with large data sets. This video is not necessarily going to explain those issues. If that's something you're interested in, leave a comment in the video and I'll take a look at creating a video for handling large data sets. If you know that you got a fairly large SharePoint list that you're using this with, you're definitely going to want to make sure that you verify that everything was exported as part of this process. So now that we've got get items, let's go ahead and add our next option here, and it's going to be the create item. So we're just going to go ahead and create an item here. And it's going to be in our same portal. And our list is going to be the backup list that we created. And let's go ahead and show all here. Now all we're going to do is add everything in here. So we're going to find our title and match it up. Our choice column, we have to do our dynamic content here. And we'll find our choice column value. And then we'll do the same thing for essentially all of our columns. It's actually fairly easy to handle this, except for the attachments. That's a little bit different, and I'll explain that once we get to the attachment portion. But for right now, let's get everything in here. Now, person claims, we just line it up with person claims. Our number, again, it is titled the same way to make it very easy to match these things up. Now, hyperlink doesn't automatically show up there, so we're going to go ahead and just search for our hyperlink field. And then we've got our currency. And that's it. Pretty much everything is done. Now for attachments, we have to add another connector. So let's go ahead and find our SharePoint connectors. And in this case, we're going to get attachments. So we'll find our get attachments. And then we're going to do our portal again. And our list name again will be our primary list. And then we're going to go ahead and use our ID from our get items. And then next we're going to do is get our attachment content. So we'll go down to SharePoint again here. And then we're going to find get attachment content, which is right down here. And then we'll do our site address again. And our primary list again. And then for our ID, let's go ahead and do our get item ID again. And then our file identifier is going to be from our get attachments. And then what we'll do is add attachments. So we'll find our SharePoint options once again. And then right up here we have add attachments. So we'll go ahead and select that. And then we'll do our SharePoint list. And this will be our backup list. And then our ID will be for our create item. And then our file name will be our display name here. And then our content will be from our get contents. And that's everything that we need to do. Now let's go ahead and change the name of this. And we'll call this the create backup list item. And save. Now we are going to get a warning because we didn't limit our get items. So we can see here, normally what you would want to do is only select the columns that you're looking for. This will speed things up if you do that. For the purpose of this video, we didn't do that step, but you will want to do that in real world just to make it a little bit faster, especially if you're dealing with large data sets. You want to limit this down to exactly the column data that you need. We don't need all the other columns as part of this. We needed the 5 to 7 or however many columns we had. That's all we really needed for this process to work. All right, let's go ahead and close this warning off. And let's go ahead and test this. And we'll do a manual test. Hit the test button. And then we'll go ahead and continue and run our flow. And hit done. Now let's go check our SharePoint list and see if it has created everything. Now on our backup list, I'm just going to refresh the page quick. And there we go. We have both of them. So we had test first item. Now I did just keep the hyperlinks the same, but everything did get transferred over without a problem. 1, 2, 1, 2. So everything is aligning as expected. Names pulled over, our multiple lines text came over. Now the attachment in this first one is my logo for my channel, and the second one should be an image from a previous video that I created. Let's go ahead and test that. So if we open this up, we'll see that I've got my logo here. And if we open this one up, I should see daily tasks from that video. So everything transferred over without any issues, exactly as we were trying to do. Now, hopefully you found this content helpful. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. It really does help the channel grow. Until next time.